Hello, RoahmMythril here once again, and we're doing an updates and announcement video, and we're actually going to be playing a game in the background. Awesome! So we're going to be playing Pac-Mania. Largely, I've just been kind of in the mood to play this game. I think a lot of it is I've been playing a lot of Pac-Man in Smash Bros. 4. He's quickly become one of my favorite characters on there. He just tickles the nostalgia neurons so perfectly for me. I mean, I date back to the heyday of arcades, and a lot of the ones I played, there were some of the Namco classics like Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug, Pole Position, those sorts of things. So, seeing all those references in Pac-Man, it made me super happy. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is the sleep situation from the previous video. I want to thank everybody that sent in suggestions on what I could do to try and help with that. I think slowly I am kind of getting back on track there. So, just to talk about that a little bit, a bunch of people suggested melatonin, but I really didn't want to go that route. I know it's a natural thing produced by the body, but I don't really like the idea of taking the supplements because I'm already on a lot of medications, actually. Nothing super serious, mainly just stuff to manage, like, blood pressure and blood sugar. But it just kind of makes it to where the idea of having yet another pill I have to take doesn't really appeal to me. It isn't really a worry of being addicted to it, it's just I already have so many things I have to take. I'd really rather not add to that list if I don't have to. A lot of people, though, were suggesting things like white noise, milk, exercise before bed, things like that. I've kind of been incorporating a lot of those suggestions, actually. I've been doing some stretches and having warm milk right before bed. That's helped out a good bit. I've also been having, like, old DVDs of I Love Lucy going in the background. It's something that I've seen already, so it's not like watching it gives me that preoccupation of, ooh, I wonder what happens in this episode, because I've already seen it before. And it also just distracts my mind, because I'll find my mind keeps kind of going along with the lines from the episode instead of getting distracted by the whole, okay, so what are we going to do tomorrow thing. So that works out pretty well. If I find I have to more solidly distract my mind and focus on something, of all things what I've been doing lately is trying to list all Pokemon by region from memory. And the way I do that is I kind of take a little mental tour of the region, like in Kanto, I'll start by saying, okay, we start in Pallet Town, what all can we get there? Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. Okay, move on to the next routes. Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, I just keep doing like that. And it works out pretty well. I've had very few nights where I've actually made it out of Kanto. I think probably the farthest I've made it was one night I got about halfway through Hoenn. Delicious peppermint. So that's worked pretty well. My mom's also been helping a good bit just by making sure that I wake up at a kind of regular time. She's been getting me up at 2 o'clock. I would use an alarm clock for those purposes, but the alarm on my alarm clock is busted. So I kind of need to get a new one of those at some point. One of the many things on the to-do list. But anyway, I'm getting back on track there. So, next thing to go ahead and cover is the last bits of the aftermath of my aunt's passing, for those that were wondering about that. It's one of those things where time just feels so weird. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it actually has been about a month. I think it was November 13th. I know it was a Thursday. We had the final funeral service for my aunt. According to her wishes, she didn't want like a big church gathering or a major viewing or anything like that. She just wanted a small graveside service. So that's what we did. And it's not the kind of occasion that you would refer to as pleasant by any stretch of the imagination, but it was at least peaceful. And the weather reports leading up to it, it didn't really seem like it was gonna be, because they kept making it sound like it was just gonna be pouring rain that day, and thankfully that held off. It was, however, I mean, just supremely, bitterly cold. And people who have been around my channel for a long time know that I'm an ice dragon. I love cold weather when I can enjoy it on my own terms. Having to be out in it in, like, kind of a flimsy button-down shirt and slacks, that's not exactly the best protection against that kind of weather. And even if it had just been just the temperatures, that would have been fine. It was like low 40s. I'm good with that. but it was the wind chill. I have no idea what it was down to, but wow, it was just slicing cold wind. And it was really rough on some of the extended family that showed up there. I mean, a lot of them, they're getting up in years, and they've got health problems of their own and everything. So, a lot of them, they had to stay in their cars where it was at least a little bit warmer and just kind of listen from there. But it was good seeing the extended family. I hadn't seen a lot of them in years, so it was kind of nice being able to catch up with them and everything. The people that were there from the funeral parlor, they were just very, very nice people. Very understanding, very compassionate, and they were really nice. Some of my aunt's friends from the internet, she was part of a Superman fan group, the Fans of Lois and Clark, they called themselves. But they had chipped in and they sent a floral arrangement, and I know my aunt would have loved it. It was done in Superman colors, so it was like bright blue, yellow, and red flowers. She would have absolutely loved it, and it was just such a kind gesture. It meant a lot to us. But, the service, it was fairly quick. I think the people from the funeral parlor... Sue, you're just a little bit too quick there. But yeah, the people that were there presiding over it, I think they knew how rough it was on some of the elder family members there, so, you know, they said their piece, and we all said what we needed to. We remembered the good times with my aunt, and that's the kind of thing you have to do, really. There was something about the actual service that didn't really hit me until I got home later that day. That, looking back on it, it kind of gave me a weirdly comforting little laugh. And that was thinking about the guy that was there presiding over the service. There was something about his looks that just struck me as very familiar. And it wasn't until I was home and removed from the situation a bit that it really hit me. Just something about his looks. Crisp white button-down shirt, black slacks, bald, glasses, big mustache, black beret. Not the real Jamie Hyneman, but an incredible facsimile. And it just gave me a little bit of a laugh thinking about that. Not at the absurdity of being at a funeral service held by Jamie Hyneman, but because it was actually kind of a little running joke that my aunt and I had together, that we'd sit there and people watch sometimes, either just like watching something on TV, or if we were like out shopping and just looking at crowds, that we'd sometimes point it out to each other if we just saw some normal person that resembled someone famous. We'd just kind of nudge each other, pointing out, you know, hey, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we'd have a good laugh over it. So it's the kind of thing that I just knew that if she was there, she would have gotten a kick out of it. And it was kind of comforting in an odd way, and in a situation like that, you take what you can get. We've all just kind of hit a point of closure with it, of just knowing that, you know, she's in a better place, she's free from her suffering, because, again, people who have been on my channel for a long time, they know just how long she was fighting cancer. It's been like, I think, God's 4 to 5 years that she'd been going through that. And so it's just the knowledge that she's free of that pain and suffering, that it's like I said, you take what comfort you can get in a situation like that, and that's the silver lining we're going with. We've all been having our ups and downs, more ups than downs though, I would say. But, you know, there's always going to be something that just kind of hits you. For me, a lot of it has been that I'll get a question in my mind, usually a tech question or something that I know she would have had the answer to. Or I'll be watching Food Network. She loved that channel. She loved the cooking competitions on there. She absolutely loved the show Cutthroat Kitchen. And so it's the kind of thing that I'll find myself watching those shows, and I'll see something on there, and I'll have that immediate gut reaction of, hey, I should talk to my aunt about this. And then that brick wall realization of, oh, right. And I know that's something that's going to hit me for a while. Similarly, I know this is something that's been affecting my mum, is that we'll hear the door back there open, and we'll know it's her husband coming back from there. But there's still part of us that we hear that door open and we kind of expect to just see my aunt coming down the hall, and of course it isn't. But that kind of thing, in a way, it just kind of lets you know just how much that person meant to you, how close you were to them. Because, God, she had just become such an ingrained part of my life. I mean, I moved out here to the country house, I think I was 8 when I first moved out here, and I've lived here ever since. Barring like the year and a half I was out in Florida attending Full Sail, but even then I talked to her online a good bit, so it's not like we were cut off or anything. Green ghosts make me nervous, 'cause they can jump too. But so, you know, she was just such a part of my life. I still kind of feel like she's there, and there is some comfort to that, I suppose. And like I said, it just lets you know how close you were to this person, that you miss them that much. And so in that, you know, I feel fortunate to have known her as long as I did. Didn't quite turn around fast enough. Over the past few weeks, we've largely been looking over a bunch of the household accounts, seeing what all we've had to transfer to other people. I had to recently do that with my site, actually, because my web space, she had actually given that to me as a birthday gift, years ago. I think she gave it to me while I was still in high school, just to give you an idea. I just never really did much with the web space until I started doing the YouTube stuff. I tried to get something going back when I was trying to do commissioned artwork, but it never really went anywhere. But once I started doing the YouTube videos, I had more content to put there, and so I really had more of a reason to make a go of the website. But so I recently had to get that transferred to my name. I'm still kind of working out the billing details. Something had gone kind of wonky with that. But I think more or less I almost have it all ironed out. We've been getting all that taken care of. As far as the site itself, I'm going to be taking care of the payments from now on out of my, out of the Patreon funds. It isn't really that bad. It's, I think, $60 a year. So that really isn't too bad. I should easily be able to take care of that with the Patreon funds. And I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting me over there. Truly means a lot to me. I've been starting to source some of the equipment that I was wanting to get with the funds. So that is something that I am working on. Obviously, it hasn't been like super high priority for me over the last few weeks with everything else going on. But just letting everyone know, it is something I'm working on. But so overall, we're getting back to as normal as we're gonna get, I suppose. It's been a rough time, but, you know, I just want to thank everybody that has been there and has been supporting me through this time in my life. Truly means a lot to me. I've had a lot of people over the years tell me that my videos could help them in some small way through a dark point in their lives. Just, it would give them a laugh. It would be kind of uplifting for them. And it means a lot that I can do that for people. It's what makes this all worthwhile to me. And over the past few weeks, you guys have been there for me, so I want to thank you all for that. It truly means a lot to me. But with that, let's move on to another topic. That's pretty much all I really had to say there, just to update everyone on what was going on with that. So let's talk about the channel and what's coming up here. First off, I did recently do a site update, so I am trying to keep up with that as much as I can. I updated like the Hall of Backers, fan art gallery, all that sort of thing. So I am trying to keep more in touch with doing that and not letting it go for too long, but again, it's one of those things that I had so much going on recently that it took a while to get the update together and just fighting with getting the account settled. But it's getting there, and the site has been updated, so at least that is progressing. As far as actual channel projects, I'm hoping soon to get back to work on Silent Hill Homecoming, because I do need to get that finished up. It is probably still going to be a little bit before the next video there, just because I am at the post-game part of the project where I'm more having to pick and choose what footage I need to record. And a lot of it is stuff that I'm going to have to review my old footage, because I need to do things like make sure of conversation paths that I didn't take before, so that I can show the alternatives there. There were some instant deaths that I actually didn't know about that I want to show. Kinda got trapped. There's also the fact that I am playing the game on hard mode, which is kind of a thing when you don't have the infinite ammo weapons. I mean, even the first intro nurse in the nightmare sequence at the start of the game, if you're not careful, she will end you. She attacks and fast and powerfully, and yeah. So that's a bit of a thing. But hopefully I can get back to that project and get it wrapped up fairly soon. Next major thing after that is going to be the original Legend of Zelda Second Quest 100% run, and then revisiting the past, and then Battle Network 4. So, I'm going to be keeping to the same schedule that I was planning on doing earlier. Everything's just going to be shoved back a little bit is all. But everything I had planned to work on, I will be working on it, so no worries there. I will, of course, also be doing other, usual projects, like I will be sneaking into Mega Man Fortress Stage Perfect runs here and there. Delicious Galaxian, yum yum. Space Bugs, my favorite. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, getting back to work, getting that semblance of normalcy going again. It feels good to be working on recording even this. Also, as far as those that just, want something to see that has me in it in more of my usual sort of mood, if you go over to Pink Kitty Rose's channel, we recently recorded ourselves racing through the various games of Kirby Superstar. It was me, Pink, Kit, and Shag. And it was a blast going through those games. She has up to the Great Cave Offensive already posted on her channel as of the point where I'm recording this. But we have already recorded the other games beyond that, Revenge of Meta Knight and Milky Way Wishes. So I'm not sure exactly when those are going to be posted. I know she's working on it, though. And heck, by the time I get this uploaded, she might already have Meta Knight uploaded. But those were a lot of fun, so definitely go check those out. I'm definitely in a better mood in those videos, you can tell. Didn't quite last long enough. Well, bugger. So, last topic really I'd like to cover. A lot of people, they just ask out of curiosity what kind of games I'm playing just for my own fun lately. I'd say most frequently I've been playing Smash Bros. 4, the Wii U version of it. I've been having a lot of fun with that. The main goal I'm working toward there is the challenge to get everybody through All-Star Mode on hard difficulty, and I have hit a severe barrier called the Villager. I am no good at using him. He's one of those characters that, in theory, he could be very effective, but you really have to know what you're doing with him, and suffice it to say, I don't. I don't quite have the reflexes to use the pocket move very effectively. So, sometimes I can do okay with him, but I still have a lot of trouble using him very effectively. As far as who I tend to main, obviously I use Mega Man a lot. He is super fun. I really enjoy using him. I know a lot of the more competitive players don't really like using him that much, and truth be told, he is fairly situational in his use, but I still just find him super fun to use. I love all the detail they put into him. My gods, he is amazing. Like I said, I have also been using Pac-Man a lot. He's just really fun. I've also been using Sonic a good bit. He feels a lot better than he was in Brawl, and that makes me happy. Because I always found him fun to use, but now he just feels more effective. Wow, Sue, you are really speedy. I've also been using Shulk a lot. I don't really know much about Xenoblade, but I find Shulk pretty fun. His moveset is really interesting. I also like his voice acting and just his characterization in the game. It just seems really fun all around. Well, I jumped, but not fast enough. As far as more classic characters, I use Bowser and Yoshi a lot, and of course Fast Food Pikachu. For those not in the know, Fast Food Pikachu is a bit of a running gag that I had with some friends from Full Sail. Back when I was attending Full Sail, I had Melee, and I was playing it with friends and not really doing all that great. I decided to try Pikachu, and I was just looking idly at some of his different models. And I brought up the one that had the red trainer hat. And my friends had they'd been joking about it and said, it kind of looks like the hat that you'd expect to see on somebody behind the counter at a fast food restaurant. And I couldn't help but laugh at that because it's kind of true, really. And so I picked that one, and I suddenly started doing really good. And so we started joking about it. It's the legend of fast food Pikachu. Order up. And so that's been my main skin for Pikachu every time I've used him. The only other ones I tend to use alternate skins for, usually, Bowser Jr., I will normally use the Lemmy skin, because, I mean, as far as the Koopalings go, Lemmy's adorable, he is tiny and adorable, and so he's my favorite of them. I tend to use the blonde Ocarina of Time style Zelda instead of the brunette one. And with Toon Link, I use the one that uses the palette of the original Legend of Zelda, where he's got the darker hair and the brown sleeves. I really love that they gave him a palette that referenced that. That's pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to Mewtwo being released. I already have the stuff registered, so hopefully I'll get the code for him when he gets released. Mewtwo is always my favorite character in the series, so I'm glad he's coming back. I do miss a couple of the characters that were cut. I mainly miss Wolf and Ice Climbers. I found them both super fun to play as, so I'm kind of sorry they're gone, and I know Ice Climbers are definitely out just because of technical difficulties due to limitations of the 3DS version, which still kind of annoys me a little bit that the Wii U version got limited by that. But I'm kind of hoping at least we'll have some DLC at some point that's maybe some veteran characters coming back, because I would be super happy if they brought Wolf back. So other than that, of course, I've been playing a lot of Alpha Sapphire. A lot of people have been asking if I'd be posting my QR code for my secret base, and once I get that a bit more planned out, then yes, I definitely will. I've really been concentrating more on just getting through the main game and getting all my level 100s transferred over, which has been quite the lengthy project. I'm 18 boxes into it, though, out of the 21 that I had to transfer, so it's at least getting there. But yeah, once I get the secret base a bit more planned out, then definitely I will post the QR code for it. I think that's a kind of cool touch that they let you do that. But I just honestly haven't really looked into the secret base stuff all that much yet. As far as online interactivity goes, back on the subject of Smash Brothers, a lot of people have been asking if I wanted to play them online with Smash Brothers, and unfortunately I just cannot do that due to Cardboard Satellite. So I'm afraid that's out of the question, else I would. Delicious Space Bug. Another game I've been playing a lot of lately, somebody was kind enough to donate $20 worth of Nintendo eShop currency to me just to let me get something and try and get my mind off stuff. And so I got a game that Kit had recommended to me, Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. Yeah, that's a name. But he recommended that to me, and I've been having a lot of fun with that game. It's kind of a Mexican wrestling / Day of the Dead themed Metroidvania in kind of a way. And it's just a really super fun game. I've really been enjoying it. It's actually something I'd potentially consider for an eventual LP, actually. So that might be something that I do in the future. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. But definitely, it's time to get back to work, I think. I'm having fun doing this, and definitely looking forward to getting back to the usual kind of stuff. Oh, I forgot, you guys can jump again. I know the green ones, if you time it just right, you can still actually jump higher than them. I don't think you can with the black one. And I always actually get it mixed up as to which is which between the green and black ones. I know one's funky and the other is spunky, but I always forget which is which there. They don't get used in a lot of the games. But anyway, I suppose that's pretty much where we're going to call it. And hi there, I didn't quite see you. You were off camera because you were jumping. Well, bugger. Yeah, the fail is coming out full force. Here! You're so fast. But, yeah, I think that's where we're going to call it for now. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for your continued support and understanding. Thank you for how patient you've been over the past few weeks, and for just your words of comfort and condolences. You guys have really helped me through a tough time, and I am sincerely thankful for that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much. I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to work here. And so with that, I shall see you again in the next one. So, until then, fare thee well.